This is The Wave, the new sound of Long Island University. LIUwave.org.
Hello and welcome to the Wake Up on the Wave, the morning show where we have a blast and you listen to us and also have a blast at the same time. I am your host here. I'm Jackie.
I'm Evie.
I'm Jack. I'm Mike.
And come with us, sit down, have a good time, and listen to our witty banter, which is so witty. I know, we're very smart.
True.
Starting off, I would love to talk about how there is a school district in Philadelphia that now guarantees water and bathroom breaks and daily recess with a ban on silent lunches. Have you ever heard of silent lunches?
Yeah. No.
That sounds ridiculous.
So it's actually insane. One kid misbehaves and everyone has to eat in silence because of one kid.
That's so unfair.
That's insane. Imagine being that one kid. Like, the way that would traumatize me to be like, everybody is silent because of me. Like, that is, imagine like the guilt you would feel.
It was so messed up. I think I remember moments like that in high school. It was just stupid. Like, there was so many. The thing is, like, I noticed this, like, when I was in my senior year of high school. There are so many, like, basic things that, like, what they assume, I guess, since, like, you can't vote or something, that, like, they can just treat you however they want. It's like, if I was an employee and I was working here, this would be an OSHA violation. Like, for example, like, I mean, silent lunches, that's just, like, a kind of messed up, like, you know, retaliatory action that kind of messes with kids. But I remember my school, like, they, I guess, didn't guarantee the bathrooms or the water, and, like,
Yeah.
they would lock us down, and I had to, like, go to my board of education about it.
Right.
Which I think is kind of, like, messed up. Like, it's like, how could you, like,
Yeah.
like, people should always have access to the
Exactly.
bathroom if there is one.
Exactly. So that point was made. So some parents were saying, like, I have to send my kid in wearing a diaper. Like, they're potty trained, but I have to send them in wearing a diaper because when they ask to go to the bathroom, the teacher says no. And it's like, this is a human right that we should have to just go to the bathroom, and we're not letting kids, like, that's insane. So they had this meeting, and this took a while to get into place, and they were like, we should have done this sooner. But I think a quote that was really interesting, the Board of Education Council member Kendra Brooks said, when we think about children holding their bodies because bathroom access is protected, or sitting for hours without movement, or rushing through silent lunches, that's not discipline. It's actually dehumanizing.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
schools were just doing that, and it was totally fine. Like,
Yeah, it's very, as I said, it's very irritating, and I think it takes a community to know what is going on inside your school district and go to Board of Ed meetings when possible, because when basically the rule that was put in place was you can't go to the bathroom 5 minutes before class ends, 5 minutes at the beginning of class, and during passing. You just couldn't go to the bathroom. And so when I went to my Board of Ed about that rule, they had no idea it happened, and it was reversed the next day. But it was going on for about a week or two before that, and it's like, this is not okay. This is kind of, like, illegal. And the fact, obviously it's good that bathroom breaks and water can be guaranteed to people, but it's also kind of upsetting the fact that that wasn't an expectation. But yeah, this is, like, a topic that, like, kind of is one of those that, like, will make me a little crazy. Yeah, my advice to everyone, go to your Board of Ed meetings. It's important.
yeah. They also enacted a guarantee for movement breaks for every 90 minutes of seat time in elementary schools. So instead of sitting around all day, they have times where, like, kids will, I feel like that's important because
Of course.
as children, sitting there for that long and trying to pay attention, like, I feel like the way that we grew up, it was just wrong.
It was weird. And when you were, like, the type, when you had a little bit more, I guess,
Oh my
energy
God,
and
yeah.
a little less impulse control, they would, like, label you with, like, you know, ADD or whatever. Some people do have ADD, of course, but I mean, ADHD is the common clinical term now. But it's so much of, like, you were labeled to have ADHD, and now it's the most overdiagnosed
Right.
mental disorder in the country, I believe. And it is something they medicate you for.
Yeah.
And they put you on mind-altering substances at a young age that you can get off the street and it totally rewires you.
Exactly.
So those types of things kind of drive me crazy because it's this labeling, it's this like expectation that children shouldn't behave the way that children naturally will.
Yeah, I work with kids, and I'm also a psych major, so I definitely learned in all of my classes that ADHD is a super common diagnosis with kids, and more than half of them don't even need to be diagnosed with that because they don't have ADHD, and then they're put on medication, and then, you know, obviously that diagnosis, it stays with them for the rest of their life. So actually, my professor told us a story recently that her brother was misdiagnosed with ADHD when he was in like 3rd grade just because he had behavioral issues, but then he wanted to join the military out of high school, and obviously like you can't join the military if you have, you know, psychological diagnoses.
Right.
And so that one misdiagnosis like totally changed the path for the rest of his life.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that it's good that schools are now becoming more aware and being more like, hey, maybe we should like actually not do these things that aren't okay. So we're making progress in that. Another story, Kazakhstan
Yep.
plants 37,000 seedlings to prepare for the imminent return of tigers. And I think that this comes from a point I mentioned before of animals going extinct and how we're trying to bring back areas, but also the idea of planting trees and making habitats and having more of an ecosystem. Doing this is really important, and I would love to see it more in the US because I feel like deforestation is huge here. And like obviously there are programs of planting trees, but I feel like we haven't made huge progress with reviving habitats and creating environments. And I don't know, how do you guys feel about just with endangered species and how we're handling things?
I think the news from Kazakhstan I think that's beautiful.
Right.
It's very beautiful.
I agree with that.
I did not hear about that, which I find weird. I would have thought I would have heard about it, but I guess not. But I'm glad to hear that, and I think that other countries should do the same.
I think
How did they come back?
We should start planting trees and having tigers in the US.
I
Yeah.
agree, honestly,
Sure.
because
Why
like
not?
I think it would trying to think of a positive benefit of having tigers in the US.
I think there's
cool.
almost
Yeah.
none.
They are
except
cool.
That they're cool.
Tigers
Yeah.
are cool. Predators shape ecosystems. You know, the wolves reshaped Yellowstone. I'm sure you guys have heard of that.
Yeah, but they also live there.
Yeah, but they were okay. So on a side tangent, I'm gonna give a really brief version of this, but essentially, Yellowstone National Park, we had rivers, right? And the rivers started they started decaying a little bit because the grass that was holding the soil down was being eaten by an ample amount of deer because the wolves were mass killed. But then when they brought the wolves back, it literally like brought the rivers back. So predators have a very important part in an ecosystem, even though they make up such a small portion of it. So obviously we love tigers. Tigers are cool. They're pretty and all that. And it was one of those species that were so overhunted, but they are so important because all our natural predators are, there's always going to be plant life that naturally grows, but you're not always going to have a grown-in killing machine, you know?
Right.
Because you need to have a killing machine in an environment, like fungi, for example. You know, it's important to have a cycle. Sorry, that sounds really weird.
The circle of life.
Yes.
We'll be right back. You're listening to The Wake Up on the Wave. And we're back. You're listening to The Wake Up on the Wave. I'm Jackie.
I'm Evie.
I'm Jack.
I'm Mike.
And I want to know the hypothetical of the week, Michael.
My question for you guys is, what's the largest animal you could take in a fight?
Okay. We're starting off strong. I can take a medium-sized dog because dogs scare me, but I think I can take a medium one.
You're afraid of dogs?
I'm scared of big dogs
Why?
because
Is there a traumatic experience there?
Well, no, not really. It's just like big dogs don't like me. They tried to kill me.
What's a medium-sized dog?
It's not as big as a big dog.
Oh,
Well,
I
big dogs can get pretty big.
Yeah,
always
that's-
think of
yeah.
like a border collie.
It's
I
like a
mean,
Great Dane, like a giant dog.
Yeah, so I can't take a Great Dane in a fight.
Can you
They're
take a
pretty
golden
skinny, though.
retriever?
I really don't want to.
Is a lab a big or medium dog?
What kind of are there just labs?
Yeah, I don't know. Like a
Yeah.
black lab or
I mean, there
whatever.
can
I don't
be
know.
black labs. They can be.
Are those
many
medium
colors.
or big to you?
I don't know. Maybe I could take it.
Okay.
I'll say medium,
I
sure.
think the thing is, dogs are easy ones because they're
Are they,
like
though?
bred to be like kind of weaker.
Well,
Have
I
you
mean,
seen
some
dog
dogs,
fighting?
like a pit bull, is obviously bred to be strong, but like the bite force of like a husky is nothing compared to the bite force of a wolf.
I really don't. I don't know. I think I definitely could not fight a pit bull.
Yeah, no.
Of course not. No.
I'm trying to pick
I don't
something
know.
that I would survive against and that I could take. So if a dog is an easier option, like, do you think I'm gonna say I could take on a bear? Like, what?
No.
Okay.
Like the
Are you
largest
judging me for
animal-
my answer?
I'm like trying to like pick this apart because a dog is a pretty like docile creature.
They can
It
be, but they
depends.
can also
It
not
depends.
be.
That's true.
How big are ocelots?
What is an ocelot?
It's a cat.
Cat.
It's a
It's
jungle
like-
cat.
It's like a
Oh.
3
They're like
foot
mid.
long
They're like
cat.
okay. They're not that big, right?
They were in Minecraft.
No, I guarantee you they're probably
Oh,
about that
that's
big.
what an ocelot is? The ones in Minecraft?
Yeah, the ones in
Yeah.
Minecraft.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I know.
I guess they're
They
not
look
that
like-
big.
Wow.
They look
I
like normal
educated.
cats, but they're like much more
I guess cats aren't
aggressive.
cats aren't as rugged as dogs.
Yes, they are. What?
Like big cats, yeah, but like
No, like a cat, like a meow cat, like that's like.
but like
like those
don't
are
know.
like kind of like
this is a good hypothetical.
like how many stray dogs do you see?
Depends where you are. Not in America,
yeah,
not
there's not a lot
many.
here. There's a lot in Europe. In Greece, there's a lot.
Yeah, but like just in general, like I feel like there's way more stray cats than stray dogs
That's
because they're
true.
more rugged.
I mean, or no, I don't really mean rugged. I mean more robust.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I don't know. What's the biggest animal I can fight? I really don't know.
You can't say I don't know.
I'm
Like-
thinking.
Okay. While we are thinking, I will say. Actually, I want to hear Evie's first.
To be honest, mine's kind of like pathetic. So I wouldn't say, okay, I would say an animal that's like the same size of a koala. Like not necessarily a koala because like I wouldn't want to hurt a koala, but I don't think I could take anything
came
bigger
down
than a
to it-
koala. Well, because I'm very weak and fragile. Not fragile, that's a bit overdramatic, but I'm very weak. I'm not strong whatsoever. So I'm like, I'm trying to think in terms of like what would be, I would make it out safely, you know? Like at first I was thinking dog, but I was like, I don't know, dogs kind of also freak me out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know if I really want to fight a dog because like what if it bites me?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, you
that's
can.
kind of comes with the territory of fighting an animal.
Well, okay, see,
What are
this
they supposed to
hypothetical
do? Use
doesn't
their
even
fingers?
this
I think maybe I could win against a pit bull, but I'd be like I'd be like in a coma or something.
You're like
you-
going against. That's like
you gotta,
a
like, think.
dense animal.
I
like,
know,
Think
but,
of like.
You're like it's like life or death, so like it's like you're like supercharged, but like I guess generally speaking, I think I would agree probably like a like medium dog I could take.
You
That's
can't
not
take my
like
answer.
Well, it's a good answer
I know.
because we have good frames of reference for medium dogs because we live in America and we don't
Yeah.
have any.
koalas.
Yeah, exactly. Some
Why are we taking on
Yeah.
koalas? Koalas aren't very big.
koalas are
Exactly.
okay.
You know what I
Yeah.
think? I mean, this. You guys are like. Okay, one thing that like you gotta be able to identify when picking an animal you're going to fight is it predator or prey? A predator is like it has more dense muscle mass, it has sharper teeth. Why are you guys all picking dogs? That doesn't make any sense. Also,
They're predators.
yeah, they're predators. You would avoid a predator. You want to go for a prey animal. I'd fight a deer. That's the obvious answer. It's a deer.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah,
answer.
I
but
don't know,
deer are
man.
so cute. I wouldn't want
Deer
to.
are
Dogs
also-
are?
What if it's mean? What if
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a
I
mean
guess.
deer?
Deer are also large.
Yeah, and they're larger than.
And in
whatever-
this hypothetical, you're thinking that it's an aggressive animal.
I didn't necessarily say
But the way
that.
it's like
I guess
phrased,
Yeah,
like
it's just an assumption.
A deer, like if this hypothetical were real, it would be the animal is coming at you because humans
deer-
don't want to fight an animal.
This is a scenario where the deer's coming at you. Like this is like a really messed up.
yeah, but like the
this is like the like John Wick of deer.
okay.
Oh wow.
Like this guy's aggressive. Actually, it would be a female deer. I'm sorry, I'm not dealing with the horns either.
Yeah. I was thinking about
Um,
that. The antlers kind of go crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't go for the antlers. I go with like an antlerless like deer. You know,
Yeah.
that's just how I feel.
A
Yeah,
deer, a female deer.
that's true. That's,
I mean, we could talk about this for hours.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
Let's,
I don't know, we
let's
all
write
can.
off the whole show and just talk about this, right, guys?
I
Yep.
agree. I think that you guys all gave the wrong answer.
Oh.
Okay, so this is a hypothetical, Mike.
Okay,
There's no right or wrong answer,
new
Mike.
one.
We're not being quizzed here.
Largest rat you can take on.
What does
Rat.
that mean?
I don't know. Like it's
The sewer rats.
Yeah, New York City
no like
subway rat.
this can be like how large. Like if rats can get to like, like man-sized rats, would you be able to take that on,
Yeah.
or would you
Heck
be
yeah.
like
Oh.
freaked out? Like
Well,
Probably be freaked out because they have claws and long teeth.
Yeah.
they do, and I would be freaked out by the tail.
Ugh.
tail. Ooh, I didn't even think of the tail.
But
I
the
don't
Yeah.
like
the
that.
tail's just for stability. It's
can
not,
be used
it's
as a
not
weapon in this
prehensile. No, it's
scenario.
No, but
not.
it's creepy.
This is like a kangaroo of a rat.
Oh,
And the
that's
tail
true.
also doubles as a sword.
Not really, but yeah.
Wow, it's developed.
It's a hypothetical. We
I
can
know.
say whatever.
Yeah,
You know,
come on.
let's
Now
give
we're
him-
just
What do you
verging
mean
on
that?
fantasy.
Can we give him a
here.
sidearm? Can we give him a sidearm?
Why?
He like lifts up his like rat ankle pant or whatever the hell, and he's just like grabs like a dagger because you disarmed his sword. This is a very rugged rat.
Okay.
I'm sorry, guys. This has gone totally off the rails. I'm sorry that this is what I do whenever I have a segment.
You're listening to the Wake Up on the Wave. Stay tuned because more is coming up. And we're back. Welcome back to the Wake Up on the Wave. I am your host, Jackie.
I am Evie.
I'm Jack.
I'm Mike.
Okay, cool.
That really threw me off. I'm sorry.
This
Anyway.
is energy, okay? We're going to be having a lot of fun. We're going to be playing a game. Are you excited?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. That's the enthusiasm I'm looking for. Okay, we're going to play Who Said That? Exclamation point, question mark. So the idea of how it works is I am going to give a prompt or question. So for an example, if I were to say, the real reason that dinosaurs went extinct was ... What you are going to do is write your answer, and the goal is to write the most funny, ridiculous, or absurd answer that you can come up with. After you write your answer, I will collect your cards, and then I will read out each answer, and you have to guess who wrote it. Any questions?
No, I
I
pretty
think
much
that
got
was
it.
pretty
Okay,
straightforward.
we
yeah.
can do a point system. 1 point if you correctly guess the writer, or 1 point if nobody guesses that you wrote it. Obviously, if you were the writer, don't give it away and be like, oh, hey, that was me. Because the whole point is we want to guess. So, are we ready?
Yes.
Yes.
So, the first prompt that you have to answer is... Are you... Okay, hold on, sorry. Something you should never say to your professor.
It's a good one.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Just you have. Should I put on the Jeopardy?
No, that's it's not that's
While
not
you're writing?
conducive to thinking. It's very
No.
Yeah, it's gonna
it's
distract
very
me
like
actually.
it like teases you almost.
Okay, well, we can't have dead air, so I'm gonna keep talking while you guys
Yeah.
come up with
Yeah,
an
that is true.
answer.
That's true.
I I crashed my car today into another car, and I feel like this is a good time to, let that off of my chest right now because it was not long before starting this where I was just leaving my house, and I love that I'm yapping right now while they're writing. This is so fun. Welcome to my podcast. But I crashed my car. I was pulling out, and I full on hit the gas and went straight into a car behind me. And usually people are aware of their surroundings and they don't do that. But me personally, I don't know what I'm on, but I'm on nothing. I'm not on anything. I just, wasn't paying attention and I hit another car behind me and my car got pretty broken-ish. It's not looking good for me, but it's a mistake we all make and it's a lesson to be learned. And did we write our answers?
I did.
Yeah, I had a hard time thinking, but
I'm formulating.
I'm very
writing,
sorry about
actually.
your car, Jackie.
It's okay. I didn't need a comment on it. This is just to pass the time so that we're not sitting in silence as you guys,
Sorry. I think
it's
I
okay. It's
finished.
okay.
My answer's not very funny.
Neither is mine.
I tried my best.
Wow.
I'm really trying.
Really? You couldn't think of something you should never say to your professor?
No,
that
no,
could be
I
funny?
did, and then I had to cross it out, and then I came up with a better one.
Okay.
That's
Okay,
funny.
done.
Okay, pass up your cards face down so no one can read it, and then I'm going to shuffle them up, and I'm going to read them out, and we're going to guess who said it. And that is the name of the game.
I'm so afraid. Okay.
I'm afraid. Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's a good start. So we are shuffling. The first answer to what you should never say to your professor, was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Something you should never say to your professor. So first up, we have, okay, where do you live? Does anybody, can anybody guess who would have possibly thought to ask their professor where they live?
I think Evie would do that.
Oh.
That does
I
sound
think
like
Mike would do
something
it.
Yeah, I was thinking Mike too,
Okay,
actually.
I want you to point to the person you think it is.
And everyone on air should
Right, and I will
scream
say-
out who it is.
Right, I want you to. So
Everyone
we have.
listening.
Scream out in the middle of Hillwood who it is. The answer is definitely
So
Evie.
Evie is pointing to Mike. Jack is pointing to Mike, and Mike is pointing to Evie.
Oh yeah, we got to write our names on the thing.
Oh, I didn't write
The
my name.
answer
It
is
was me.
Mike
was
because
me.
I
he
knew
said
it.
that he crossed it out. So the answer is
Oh.
Mike. Okay,
So I got 0 points from that.
because they did guess you, yes. And I
So-
guess you both get a point. So
Okay. Oh,
Jack
yeah.
Evie,
and
did you write your
Evie-
name on yours?
No, I did not.
Okay,
so
we will do that next round.
Should we though, or
after-
should we
Do what?
say who it was? Just
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, let's go. Go, go, go,
Okay,
go.
next up, what you should never say to your professor is calling them mom or dad, which, I did that to my babysitter once. Like, good night, mom, but it wasn't my mom, it was my babysitter.
That's acceptable, I think.
Okay, well,
I've
it was
done
really
that
embarrassing for me.
To elementary school teachers, I never referred to one of them as
Okay,
my
yeah,
mother
so-
or father.
We should not be calling our professors mom or dad. Who do we think believes that we should not be calling our professors mom or dad? Point to who you think it is. So Mike believes that it is Jack. Jack believes that it is Evie. Evie believes that it is Jack. We are all pointing at each other. This is the Spider-Man meme where everyone's pointing
Yeah,
at
right.
each other. The answer to this one is Evie. Evie did, in fact, write this.
Yeah, that was my
So-
really funny answer.
Yeah, no, I
Very
mean, I
good.
think it was a
Thank
good
you.
one. I think it was a good one.
Thank
So
you.
you were the one that pointed?
Yep.
Right.
Correct.
So Jack has 2 points, Evie has 1 point, and Mike doesn't know his friends, but he may be able to redeem himself. So, I mean, wait, now we know who this
Yeah.
is.
All right, what was that answer?
So now, were you high when you designed that last test? Yeah, so
Ba-dum-tsh.
technically asking your professor if they're high is not the best way to go about things.
Don't do it, guys.
Should you
Don't
also
do
write
it.
one?
Okay.
So
Yeah,
it's
I'm gonna
more-
join in for this round so that
Yeah.
when it's the down to the last two, it's like, who is it gonna be? You know?
Right.
Do we have another pen, or should I mentally? You know what?
We do,
We
actually.
do have another pen. All right, I'm in the game. Okay, so the next prompt that we will be answering is the worst thing you could hear your Uber driver say. So
Oh.
now, answer that.
Dude, I've had
What?
an Uber
So
driver.
now you're just gonna give us like a real life experience.
Do you want me to?
No, it's up to
Okay.
you. It's whatever you want to do. Okay, so because we cannot.
Okay, well,
Have
in the
dead air.
background while I'm thinking of it, I
you
will
gonna-
share my story
Yes,
because
please
Jackie
do.
shared a story.
Okay.
So this was a really creepy Uber driver experience that I had. Basically, I was in the Uber driver car, and he was about like 30 something, 40 something. It was me and a bunch of my friends, and we're all male, by the way, which is relevant because I guess that's the reason why this guy felt really comfortable basically saying the things he was saying, and they were very like, he was talking about like how like he would like, you know, picking up drunk girls at bars and thoughts he would have while doing that. And I don't know if I want to share any more details. It made me really uncomfortable though. Did you guys finish writing?
No.
No, I did not.
I'm so bad at multitasking. I
Yeah.
can't.
Were you guys listening to me? You weren't supposed to do that.
I was curious. Well, also I can't really tune you out. I'm sorry. I just have really bad like what's the word? Selective attention. Yeah, that's the
Oh,
word.
wow. This is really hard. Being someone who has to write it, it's like, this isn't funny. I have to be funny? This is difficult. Okay. Uber drivers, what do you not want to hear them say?
My parents used to never let me take Uber rides anywhere because they were scared that I was going to get kidnapped. And honestly, I kind of don't blame them for thinking that way.
Yeah, no, getting into a stranger's car and just trusting them to get you where you need to go,
Yeah.
it's kind of fair to be like,
Though I
I'm
think
coming.
it's pretty easy to get caught. Like that was why I think that was a primary source of restraint for this Uber driver I had, which was good. I think the fact that we live in a largely almost like, I mean, the mass surveillance obviously isn't cool, but it does help prevent crime. So that is a thing. Is everybody ready?
All right, does
Yeah, I just
everyone
finished.
Yeah.
finish writing theirs? Did you put your name on it?
No.
Nope.
I
Of
did.
course you didn't. I did as well, but that's okay because you all have different colors, I believe.
Yes.
And I can see color. All right.
Wow.
So, to the prompt, the worst thing you can hear your Uber driver say. The first person said, "We're not going to your we're not going to your crib, little bro." Who do we think would say that would not be something you want to hear from your Uber driver? Let's point in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so Evie is pointing at Jack, Jack is pointing at Mike, and Mike is pointing at Jack. This is another one where everyone is pointing at each other. I know the answer, so I will not be pointing. The answer is Mike for this one. So I think Jack is crushing it. I think
Yeah.
he knows everyone really well. So
guess I
next
do.
up.
Wait, did Evie get a point last? Oh no, she never mind. Yeah, so Jack has 3 points, Evie has 2 points, you and me have 0 points.
Correct. I did just
Wow.
join just now, though.
Hey, we're equals here.
All right. Good to know. So, what would we not want to hear our Uber driver said? He would say, "We should go back to my place and chill." Then he locks the door. Yeah, no. That would be really scary. Who do we think would write this on their card? Point now. Okay. Mike is pointing at Evie. Jack is pointing at Evie. And Evie is pointing at Jack. The answer is Jack. Jack is the one.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so bad at this.
So Evie,
I
have
got the
z-
point.
I have 0
Evie gets the
points.
point.
The only reason why I guessed that is because of the look on your face.
Well, I have a really good poker face, I guess, because I'm
Okay.
a great actor.
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess so.
So
I'm
the
just trying to
next
say stuff.
one. What would you not want to hear your Uber driver say? You guys don't smell anything weird coming from the trunk, right? Just checking. So who do we think
That's you because you
wrote
didn't laugh.
that? Okay, so point now at who you think it was. I know who it was. Everyone is pointing at me, which is really funny. So Evie gets the point because this is Evie's card,
Whoa.
and nobody guessed that it was her.
Dude, what?
I'm literally so good at this game.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And the one that I wrote is, "I just passed my driver's test after failing it 10 times. Not funny, but I had to come up with something." Okay, should we do one more round or should we stop this? I don't know because it does not move. We should go to break. You are listening to the Wake Up on the Wave. Don't go anywhere because there will be more coming up. And we are back. You are listening to the Wake Up on the Wave. I am your host, Jackie.
I'm Evie.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Mike.
And you are here, and I am here, and we are happy to be here. Let's talk about our fun Takes at 8, where we give you our hot takes, and you judge us silently. and we judge each other as well. So, who wants to start?
I could go first.
Okay.
Okay, my hot take is that birthdays are actually really fun, and anybody who says that it's quote unquote just another day is just boring. I think birthdays are so fun. I just had a birthday like a few weeks ago, February 11th. Whoop whoop. I turned 21, and I had a blast. As I have a blast every single year. I think it's just who you surround yourself with. That's what
true.
makes it fun.
Yeah.
My thing
I'm gonna
with
fight you a little bit on this. I think.
Yeah, here's my thing, right?
Yeah.
It's just another day for me, but the reason for that is just because I think birthdays are fun, but when they're other people's birthdays. Like, I'd prefer that my friends do have, like, birthday events because I enjoy going to those. It's just, like, having a day about, like, me, it feels a little, like, stressful. And, like, I also am, like, a nervous host with people. So, like, I seldom, like, swarm people into my home. And if I'm going to have a birthday party, it's going to be all my friend groups who I will not mix under any circumstances. So I think it's a good take to say birthdays are awesome. It's not necessarily for me. Also, I just do it with family, which is, I think, is fun. Cool.
I think it depends on if you have a party or not. Because if you don't have a party or any activities, then it is just another day.
Well,
Yeah.
it's what you make it.
I guess.
And I'm
Birthdays
always-
can be fun. They
I'm
have
always-
so much potential.
I'm always busy on my birthday now.
Yeah, me
Like, dude,
too.
like, last time I think I was like, I think either my friends graduated or like I was on a plane going to Florida, not for my birthday, just going to Florida, something like that. And this time, like, I graduate like 2 days before my birthday, so it's like, what's the like, what do I celebrate here? You know what I'm saying?
Both.
Yeah.
Because why
Oh,
not?
shoot.
It's your birthday. You make the rules. No one will argue with you. If you want to do something absolutely insane and make the entire day about yourself, you can, and nobody will say anything because it's your birthday.
That's true. That's true. All right, what about you guys?
My
Or
hot
unless
take-
if you have a rebuttal to that. I was talking to you, Jackie, but that's fine. What about you, Jack?
my hot take is that the McDonald's sauces are all bad. They're all gross.
I
I've
like
had
honey
none of them.
mustard, and I like sweet and sour sauce.
I don't like any of them. I think they're bad.
I actually agree with you on that.
Yeah.
What?
I think the barbecue sauce in particular is terrible. It's disgraceful. It tastes like hand sanitizer, doesn't it?
It
What?
kind of does actually,
does.
yeah. Although I don't eat McDonald's much, but I do. We
Yeah.
have the sauces here at the station, and sometimes if I'll bring like chicken for lunch, I'll take one of them. But it's like really bad.
Yeah.
I generally avoid sauces like that. I don't know why. I just do. Like, the only time I'll have a sauce is like if I'm at Chick-fil-A and they have Chick-fil-A sauce. But otherwise,
Yeah.
I just generally avoid them. It's not for me. Like, especially, yeah, that's really, I don't know. I guess I'm just like some sort of freak. I like my food
I guess
completely
so.
plain.
Also, I think every other fast food place has pretty good sauces compared to McDonald's.
Chick-fil-A, fire.
Yeah.
That's real. That is real. I concur with that
Thank you.
take.
McDonald's gets completely demolished by the other sauce game
Exactly.
that is around in the ecosystem that is fast food.
I think you guys should have worse takes. I think I'm going to change my hot take to that because neither of your guys' takes were that bad. Anyway, what about you,
Jeez.
Jackie? What's your take?
That camping is just pretending to be homeless. You're
Wow.
just
That's
Pretending to be a survivalist.
Yes.
yeah. If
I
you're
mean-
homeless, you're not living in.
You're
the
not
woods.
foraging. Yeah.
you're just being homeless for fun. Like,
No,
that's-
because you have a home. It's just a tent,
right,
and
but
on
you're
top of that,
pretending.
you're in the woods. If anything,
Right.
you're pretending to be a bear for a weekend, which I think is
That's
way more
even
valid.
less correct.
Why? Why?
Exactly.
Because sometimes homeless people live in tents, but bears never live in tents.
No, but like they live in the woods,
Homeless
Okay.
people can live in the woods.
and bears can live in tents.
yeah, but
No,
when
they
you're
can't.
camping, are you
They
acting as a
generally
predator?
prefer not to, but
I
Yeah,
guess
no.
they can, but
when
they
you,
don't really.
She has a point. When you're camping, are you a predator? Are you hunting things?
You're surviving.
Are you hibernating?
Boom. Gotcha.
But it's not even surviving because like sometimes people will just bring their hot dogs or whatever and be like doing that on camping.
That's true.
It's
In
Yeah.
not.
fact,
You're,
that's mostly what happens.
exactly. You're not surviving. You're just being homeless for fun. Like, oh, let's go into the woods and not have a house and then do that and not shower.
It's the idea of it being like more simple. Like I don't enjoy camping. It's not for me, but I see the appeal. It's just about this in a technological industrialized
Boring.
society.
right.
We strive to have something more simple.
Okay.
And I think
we
pretending to
should
be a
have-
bear for the weekend
we should
is
have
much
a
more
wave
simple.
camping trip where we
Okay.
all go camping.
We've spoken about this before, and my answer to that was I will leave you guys and go find a hotel on my own because I cannot camp.
Right.
You
Right.
cannot pay me to sleep in the woods.
Oh, come on, Evie.
I just would rather not.
Right.
Right, but like
Yeah,
it'll be
I don't know.
so funny.
It would
Do
be
you,
pretty funny.
like,
I think
someone
I'm
just
starting
Just
to
get
agree
a
with your
cabin.
take, by
Just
the
get
way.
like a cabin.
We could do that, but that's not as like. Come on, imagine trying to get someone to set up a tent. And
Imagine trying to brush your teeth.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I've never done like straight up camping. It's always glamping. That's what it's called, where it's like. Because I can't go very long without a shower. I will actually just start.
I agree with
Yes.
Yeah.
that. Anyway,
So-
can I share my take?
Yes,
Please
go for
do.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, my take is that just because your friend is an artist, okay, so let me preface this. I think if your friend is an artist, you should support their passion, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to tell them something is good when it's not. Because for the most part, like, I always end up liking my friend's stuff, so that kind of makes me like biased. But like, and I'll tell them like what I like, and a lot of times I will. But sometimes I'll also be like, hey, like, you could have done this better. You know, I think it's important to be honest with the people you love, and to tell them something's fire when it's not is messed up.
I mean, I guess.
All right, damn.
I agree, I think, to
I
an
mean-
extent.
I don't know. I feel like you know those SoundCloud rappers at the schools that are like
Ugh.
trying to do that, and like I was friends with him, but I never hid the fact that it like sucked, and nobody hid like he was the SoundCloud rapper that everyone like roasted.
Wow. That's
And that's-
unfortunate.
Yeah, but like I wasn't gonna be like, yo, it's actually really good when like it was well known. It was just ass.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think sometimes it's deserved because when they're so delusional to the point where they're like, I'm going to win a Grammy one day, I feel like as their friend, it's kind of your responsibility to be like, I need you to bring it down a few notches.
Yeah. Right.
But like that's just generally like how I feel. And also like sometimes it's important, like, because also I'm not just viewing this as like a friend to friend interaction. This is also a producer to consumer relationship, and I want to consume good content. So when Avery releases her albums, by the way, follow Avery Kochikas on Instagram. I'm plugging her music right now. Whenever she releases her albums and I'm like, hey, I think you should mix it better next time, she goes, yeah, you're right. Because she knows that. She's an artist. She's a real artist, and I think real artists should take criticism, and my friends generally do, but some people don't, and they're not real artists.
Yeah, so I guess
Boom.
that's how you can determine whether they're going to make it or not. If you tell your friend, hey, this isn't great, and then they don't take it well, it's like, well, you're not going to get very far then.
Yeah, true.
True dat.
You got to
Okay.
prepare them for the real world. They're like your children.
You can't like eviscerate them though.
Oh, of course not. No.
Yeah.
This is the worst thing I've ever
I
heard in
always,
my life.
Yeah.
whenever, like, I always hit people with the compliment sandwich, you know, so it's just like,
Okay.
you know, it makes life a lot easier.
Yeah.
All right. We will be back. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Wake Up on the Wave.
Welcome back to the Wake Up on the Wave. I am Mike,
I'm Evie.
I'm Jack.
I'm Jackie.
and now it's time for our takes at 8. Who wants to go first?
The Beatles are overrated.
Oh my god.
That just came out. Sorry.
I hate when people say that.
I
Okay.
I
don't
actually
think
hate
that-
it so
yeah,
much.
I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with that. Okay, so I really would love to know what about them is so profound. Like,
Just
could
the
you
effect
Come
that-
together.
The-
Come together.
Not even
Come
just the music,
together.
but the effect that they had on like
Okay.
life,
You had to be there.
like pop culture.
That's what I'm saying.
I
Wasn't
wasn't
it
there
just a
either.
bunch of hippie? Like it was a hippie era, so they were just a bunch of hippies making
Sort of.
music about being like
Did they
loving.
start making
But
music
they were
in the
cool.
50s?
And
They
they
were
made great
cool.
Yeah.
music. Have you ever listened to Abbey Road?
No.
You're talking about how overrated the Beatles are, and you never listen to Abbey Road.
Any song that I've ever heard by the Beatles, I have never enjoyed it.
Wow.
That's
I just-
insane.
Well,
They're
you don't like Come
super-
Together?
No.
Come together. They're super influential. I
They
was
are.
a huge fan of rock and roll. Well, I still am a huge fan of rock and roll. But specifically in high school, that was like my entire personality. And I didn't really listen to the Beatles, but I definitely did appreciate their influence because they like paved the way for a lot of huge rock bands in the 60s.
yeah,
I-
What is it about them that had them be this amazing thing that like
I don't know.
broke
They were just
society?
cool.
Wikipedia
man.
They were
is
cool
free.
and they were also very experimental too because like what they were making at the time wasn't super like normal in that genre. It was
Okay.
it was like I think their
That
their
happens in
music,
music all the time. But
well,
continue.
no, yeah, it does happen in music all the time, but that's why we kind of like celebrate all the greats from each genre
Right.
for paving the way.
And their music is just great.
I think so. I
pretty
actually
good.
Well,
think so.
It's subjective at the end
Really?
of the day, but
Okay. Yeah, I mean they couldn't even read music, so
So
like,
what?
they didn't have the
Can you
talent
read
of, like,
music?
I
They did
can.
have the talent because they
had-
had
Obviously.
vibes.
They had the vibes.
Yes, they made really good music. And the fact that I think it still holds up today,
It still holds up to what?
like in terms of quality, people generally are like the Beatles are good and they make good music. Yes.
Right.
we'd still be listening to like the 50s like rock. Not that like Elvis is bad. Elvis is good, but like
It was so clean back then.
it was.
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like in the 50s, everything was so clean. And
Like
then
the
the
Beat-
Beatles brought in just
Yeah.
like this crazy switch up.
They at least sound somewhat like a like modern music, even if you don't like it. Like it still sounds like what we recognize as like music. I mean, not that stuff before it was not music, but like the doo-wop 50s stuff. That's not really like relevant, unless you guys listen to it. I don't know.
no.
No, but I also don't listen to the Beatles.
All right, let's change the subject.
This is gonna get way too.
Yeah, I'm gonna get very upset. That take upset me.
I'm
Okay.
so sorry.
Good hot take though, in terms of it being a hot take. Also a bad one though.
Possibly the hottest take.
Yeah.
My take is that this take might actually be a little bit hotter, but Thanksgiving food is gross.
What?
Low
I think
key.
I'm sick.
No, low key. I mean, turkey is like, it's alright.
It's pretty dry sometimes.
You got stuffing. I don't even know what stuffing is.
Stuffing is
it's
just
stuff,
rice.
bro. It's stuff.
It's rice with chopped meat. Yeah, but have you guys tasted my turkey?
It was very good.
Thank
Evie does
you.
make
Thank
great
you.
turkey.
Pretty good.
Give her
It's
that.
good.
I forgot about that.
This is
Yeah.
not. This
you.
is not shade at anyone's cooking, by the way.
No, I really love mashed potatoes and sweet potatoes and green beans and all of that. So I'm all for Thanksgiving food. I like cranberry sauce.
I like
I
cranberry
don't like
sauce too.
cranberry sauce.
Okay.
Okay.
My thing is, yeah, I think like, in terms of holiday foods, it's just like
It's like
Well, what do you have on
it's cool.
Christmas?
Ham.
we
anything
have
you
like
want.
everything.
You could have
Really?
fish. You could have
It's-
roast beef, but on Thanksgiving it's just turkey.
The stuff my family makes on Christmas is next level. So like in
Yeah.
comparison, Thanksgiving's just like mid.
Thanksgiving's like. It's all like autumn colors too, so it's like
Yeah, they really tried to
But that's
stay
the
on
vibe.
brand.
I like that. It's like a cute Thanksgiving fall vibe all together, and it's like you don't like fall.
I
It's
mean
alright.
It's all right.
it's all right.
It's not as good as people think it is.
Okay.
It's pretty rainy sometimes in the fall.
That is the spring.
No, but it can be rainy in the fall.
It could be rainy any season. It's been rainy.
That's
in
true,
winter.
but like I feel like fall kind of gets pushed under the rug a little bit.
it
wea-
rains every. I mean, summer's not that bad. I feel like even
Honestly,
when it
summer's
rains.
also extremely rainy, so I should just shut up. But
Yeah, spring is pretty rainy. Summer, fall, and then you know what snow is? Frozen rain.
I think I'm
Awful.
aware
Let's
of
not
that.
get into snow. I'm looking out the window. I don't want to think about
Right.
snow.
Yeah.
Evie, what's
Yeah.
your take?
Okay, mine is like super like hard pivot, but I can't stand when people say that small talk is stupid and unnecessary because I personally think that being able to hold like a meaningless conversation with someone and being able to have small talk, I think that's a sign of intelligence, and I think that it's necessary for social development because like
That's true.
yeah, like, if you can't figure out what to say to someone within the span of like 10 minutes, like, girl, I don't know.
In certain
I
cases,
agree.
I would say it's true. What if it's
Well-
small talk with someone you really don't like?
Then why even bother talking to them?
Because what if it's like a coworker?
Oh, well, I would still suck it up.
That's what I think is like. That's what I think of as like small talk. Like, how was your weekend? And it's like,
Yeah,
that's
that's
okay.
it.
It was okay. I
think
just
that-
watched football. And that's it.
No, I think that community is something that's very important in life, and I think that is something that has been, I don't know, something that's kind of. I think it's important to have a community, right? And I think that being involved in a community shouldn't always be exciting. I think we're just so overstimulated, and I also think like if you can't handle small talk, I'm not gonna bother you with something serious. Like I'm not gonna
That's true.
just walk into a room and be like, yo, what do you think about like this political or spiritual or like major like geographic type of event? Like it's just like whatever, man. Like we're all just humans. We're all just trying to pass the time. Let's not like overthink it and think that we're above certain things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so you all think small talk is necessary. I do not. I find it to be so it makes me uncomfortable. I'm a very antisocial person and I never know what to say to people. So for your comment to be like, if you don't know what to come up with in that time, I don't know what to tell you. It's frustrating, but at the same time, when people come up to me and they're like, oh, hi, how are you? I know you're just expecting me to say good, how are you? And stuff like that. It's a waste of time. I know you don't care how I am, because if you were to come up to me and be like, hi, how are you? And I'd be like, actually, my car wasn't starting this morning. It really sucks. Oh, that sucks. I hope tomorrow's better. Like,
But
I
I
just,
Well, that's where small talk goes both ways, I think, because like that like first introductory hi, how are you could then lead into something much deeper where you could actually form a connection with
You
someone.
got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
I can't stand it. It drives me crazy. Like, if I'm in an elevator with someone and someone is about to say something to me, I am like, I want to get out of here so fast because I'm not about to have an
depends on-
awkward conversation.
It depends on the context and location.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to
You
have
can't just
small
write off
talk
small
with
talk,
someone that I'm
You know.
never, like, I don't know. I wouldn't want to have small talk with someone in an elevator because it's not going to be anything crazy. But like, I'm
Right.
also not opposed to it.
What if
I
it just
am.
opens up like a whole new like realm of your life?
Yeah,
Just
what
because
if,
you
like,
But
this
Had
I-
is an
small talk with
important
someone in an
person?
elevator.
My thing is like, most of the time for me, small talk is with people I barely know, and they're like, "So, how's your day been? This, that," and it's like, "Girl, I know you don't care." Like, I could say,
I do actually. When I ask people that type of stuff, I would like to know, and I'd like to hear something interesting, and I just want to be less bored. That's why I'm talking to someone, you know?
but I don't know what to tell you because 90% of the time, I'm not going to actually tell you something about my life because I feel like 90% of the time, people don't actually care.
Sometimes you just got to
That's
show
such a
genuine
lame
interest.
way of thinking about it, though. That's so lame, Jackie.
Because I don't like when people burden me with their issues out of nowhere. So if they're gonna be like,
It
this
doesn't
thing
have to be
happened.
issues. It could just be about something
And
like
I never
stupid.
know
Like
how to respond. Like people, like if
that
they
sounds
were
like a you problem. You know what? I'm thinking all your takes in this session are you problems. You don't like the Beatles. You like Thanksgiving food. You don't like small talk.
I don't.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, no, it drives me crazy because I'm like grasping at straws trying to figure out how to reply to this person. They're like, yeah, like my dog the other day ate something really bad and they got really sick. Okay, yeah, that
well,
sucks.
there's oversharing too.
Yeah,
There's that
you shouldn't
too.
overshare in small talk. Okay, wait. Before I want to get into my hot take, I think the three of us are on the right page about this. Small talk is important, but
Semi-important.
I got something that I think everyone should agree on. This is what I call the World Power Boxing Tournament. So essentially, every year there has to be a boxing tournament between every world power, like world leader. So like I think this will kind of like, and if you lose, like you kind of like lose land or something. I don't know, you lose something. But I think this would have great implications because if this were a thing, I wouldn't vote for someone that can't beat like Xi Jinping in a boxing match. You
So-
know what I'm saying?
But then we would just be enacting leaders that are physically fit,
yeah.
and that's not good.
Isn't this kind of a hypothetical also?
I don't know. I kind of just thought of it randomly. And I also think
I guess
like,
it is a hot take that you believe this because
And
it
I
is
also-
kind of crazy.
I also think
No
it kind
offense.
of like has good like global implications because if you're like
No.
if you're afraid of losing, no, if you're afraid of losing to someone in a boxing match, then you won't go to war with them. Because then once that
Not
boxing
true at
match
all, 'cause
comes
there's
around,
also guns,
no, once that boxing match comes around,
among other things.
no. Once that boxing match comes around, you're gonna be like, dude, like I just nuked your country. Please don't beat the hell out of me. Like that's something you have to think about now as a world leader. And if you get one punch knockout first round, I think like that's like justifications for like execution.
Okay,
What?
so basically you're just bringing us back to like Genghis Khan times.
Only world leaders, no wars, just world leaders, just like
Okay.
But then
know?
again,
But then it's like
we
might
wouldn't
equals right, which is just like
exactly. We wouldn't
not good.
elect Joe Biden to be boxing people.
yeah. But
That's
if they
true.
can't, if you
Like,
if
you
you
wouldn't-
can't
you-
elect
what-
someone
what
who
if-
can't box people,
But what if
Like-
we elected like what if this was a rule during FDR? He's in a wheelchair, but he was a great leader. He would get destroyed.
well, in those types of situations,
He would get
you can
destroyed
have,
by
like,
the
no, you
bad
can
guy
have a
in World War
stand-in.
II.
You can have a stand-in.
Okay, so then where
I
is
guess.
the
I
line
mean-
then? Because then,
My
like,
stand-in would be like the biggest boxer ever.
yeah.
No, they have to be in your cabinet.
That's funny.
So then, I would elect someone super strong
Buff,
in
yeah.
my cabinet.
Yeah.
I feel
Secretary
like there's
of
a lot
Health,
of
come out here.
Oh, God. I feel like there's a lot of room for cheating here.
Yeah, this does not sound like a good
There is.
idea.
It would just
I
turn to
understand,
politics again,
I
'cause
understand
they'd
the
just be
thought
cheating.
behind it of just having them resolve it amongst themselves and make it their problem instead of bringing in entire war of countries and making everyone get injured and all of this and have it resolved among them physically. I get your logic. The way you're executing it is terrible, though.
I think I'm right about everything.
I think
Okay,
I
cool.
think there's an alternative to this. We just bring back world leaders fighting on the front lines of their armies, like George Washington times.
That'd be kind of cool.
Shout out GW.
But anyway,
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
for all our listeners, I want you to at least be aware of my take so that you can potentially one day be on the same side of this take as me because I'm fighting a losing battle here. Anyway, you're listening to the Wake Up on the Wave, and we will be right back with some pop culture news once the break ends. So we will see you in 1 second. Welcome back. You are listening to the Wake Up on the Wave. I'm Mike,
I'm Evie.
I'm Jack.
I'm Jackie.
and we're doing some pop culture news right now. I want to start off with, you know what? This is sort of detour from what was planned. I want to talk about Larry the Cat, okay? So you guys might not know Larry the Cat, right? But he's been in the British government. Well, not really. He's a cat. But he's been the honorary rodent catcher and the unofficial first feline of the British government for 15 years. He celebrates 15 years this week, or last week, actually. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Larry because I think that's also a great name for a cat.
Yeah.
He's a rodent killer. Do they have a rodent problem?
I don't know,
That's
but he's a cat. That's
London,
what cats
right?
do. He's like a bodega cat, but like of a palace or something.
That's cool.
All right.
Yeah, shout
Go,
out to him.
Larry.
We need that in New York City, in the subways, to take care of the rat problem.
I wish we had.
They would get a disease from that.
Then it would be
Yeah, those
then it
poor
would turn into a
cats.
cat problem because there's so
No,
many
I love
rats.
cats.
Oh,
I'd rather have a cat problem than a rat problem.
me too.
I wish there was a
Same.
station bodega
That's
cat,
true.
even though we don't have a rodent problem or really any sort of like pest problem.
There was a spider.
There was a spider.
Spiders
once,
aren't
yep.
pests.
They
Oh,
Yeah,
do
but
their
they're
own
gross.
They scare me.
We've had gross insects in the past. I don't know, but they're all like
Not.
beneficial.
An
We've ha-
insect.
We've had gross insects in this building.
Yeah,
Centipede.
we have.
Yeah, the centipede.
Also
Yeah, but
not
they're
an
also
insect.
Centipedes?
Hexapod.
Centipedes are good.
Or
What's
no.
a hexapod?
Wait,
Jack keeps saying that these are not insects and that
a spider
spiders.
is not an insect.
It's an arachnid.
It's an arachnid. It is.
Who
Oh,
Centipedes
cares?
are their own
I
thing, probably.
guess.
An insect has 6 legs, and hexapods are whatever. Continue. Sorry.
I want to get into the weeds of this. I just want to say I wish we had a bodega cat for the hell of it, and I think it would be really nice. But there's also an issue of who would feed it. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, we can't have a bodega cat.
Moving on.
Moving on. Do you guys want to get into any stories, or should I keep going? I'm ready to keep going, but you guys know where I'm gonna go.
I think I'll pitch in with something. So I don't know if you guys have seen this. This is like up and coming stuff. So get on this early.
Oh,
Wow.
God.
This is. I found this Instagram account, and it is called Revival of the Fittest, and it's at Revival Records in Greenwich Village in New York City, and it's so interesting. Like I can't even like go into the stuff that they talk about is so like it's like philosophical sometimes, but it's also like crazy and funny, and there's a whole cast of characters at this point. And it's all just people that live in New York. Like I think some of them are doing a bit. I know one guy's definitely doing a bit. He's like pretending that he's like in a cult or something with like a worm that like the worms control cars on like another planet. It's like silly, whatever. But a lot of it is like real people, and what I think of it as is it's almost like if Marty Supreme and Curb Your Enthusiasm like combined.
Marty Supreme.
Yeah,
Wow.
'Cause, like-
Interesting mix.
Interesting.
because it's got like that like New York heart to it. And one of the guys on the show was supposed to be an extra in the movie, but he got cut out.
Oh, interesting.
Because a lot of the extras are just like New York guys that are like semi-famous or just were like found just walking around there like, or well, I guess they probably didn't get found, but they probably went in to do auditions or whatever. But I think it's very interesting. I think you guys should check it out. We are not sponsored, so
I'll check them out.
Yeah.
Seems cool.
What's
everyone.
Marty Supreme?
It's a movie that
It's-
came out with
yeah.
Timothy Chalamet. I think it was in like
Oh.
December it came out.
I thought it was a lot of fun.
I
It's
thought
really
it
good.
was great. Yeah.
It's about a ping pong player who's like a narcissist and he's like a deadbeat dad for a little bit.
Oh, cool.
It's cool. It was a fun movie. It was just one of those like, wow, like it's just insane stuff was happening the whole time. There was one point where I was like, okay, it seems like a slow moment. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and I come back and like there's an entire like explosion going on, and I'm like, yo, dude. I go to my friend. I'm like, yo, what just happened? And he's like, oh yeah, they crashed into a gas station and everything exploded, and I'm like, okay, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
it was a fun movie, but yeah. In terms of more news, this is something that I was advised against sharing. You guys know what I'm going to talk about now. Okay, this is more so like, why are we talking about this rather than like this is real news.
Okay.
But I'm sure you guys have heard that, quote, the ASU frat leader frame mogged clavicular, and in parentheses on my notes it says figure out what this means. I think I vaguely know what it means, but I think it's very bizarre, and it's like, why are we like this as a culture? That's my question.
I've heard people compare like looks maxing culture, quote unquote, as the boys version of Zoolander.
Oh yes, that's so true.
I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, I think that it's just a weird like the vernacular is just kind of what gets me. Like I don't know what frame mogging is.
I don't know.
I googled what a mog is.
I know what that is. I don't know what the other one is though.
It's mogging is. It
Yeah.
said
Isn't that
it's
when you show off?
alpha male of guys or something.
It's like, isn't it like when you
When you mog someone, you're like, you get them. Like
you're
better
like
than them.
outperforming them.
Yeah, you're better than them.
Yeah.
I
But
thought
like
it meant,
like physically.
yeah.
Usually it's like your
physically,
face, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
like you just
Like
you're more
Zoolander.
attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
got it.
Zoolander.
Exactly.
I
What's
recently,
Zoolander?
well, you know what?
I unfortunately had
is-
to do research
yeah.
on this, and it's
I've-
like cool, like sure, whatever.
So
It's kind of crazy,
He
isn't it?
look maxed and
He get so clavicular. He look maxes, and his whole thing is the reason why you look max is so you can mog people. And he's like dying over here.
right.
I
He
just-
thinks that like
and-
riches and fortune and just like everything good will come to you if you look
And the
if you look like a
and to preach that
Yeah.
and to then get frame mogged by ASU frat leader.
So what does that
um,
mean? So what
An
did
ASU frat leader is a guy from ASU.
No. Thank you. No, I just mean like, what did he do to?
he just stood there and looked better than this guy who's a streamer, a famous streamer. It's just
Oh.
some random guy, and it's
Okay,
like
so
humiliating
he's
to him because he's
trying
spending
to look the best to the max. This
Yes.
Who is this name? Vehicular manslaughter. What is
clavicular.
Okay, clavicular. All right, cool. So he is just trying to look the best he can,
Yeah.
at the maximum, and then so the ASU frat leader mogged him,
Yeah.
quotation marks, meaning one-upped him in looks.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
this
and,
the
and
translation?
clavicular is spending money on surgery, and I think
Okay.
he does illegal substances as well to keep.
He does, yes.
I don't know what we can talk about, but he does that to keep his form, I suppose.
All right, yeah.
And he also does a thing called bone smashing. I don't know
Oh
if you
my
guys know what that
God.
is.
Yeah, it's really bad.
It's well,
Phone.
it's really, I don't think it does anything. I guess you could hurt yourself, but like it's like they think if you
You hit
smash your
with
face
a
enough with a
hammer.
hammer enough, then the bones will reform into sharper, more attractive angles. Because
Oh.
people think that like if you hit a bone enough that it's going to reform even stronger, and that's just completely not true.
Yeah, it's not true at all. Actually, a surgeon commented on this, and for GQ, by the way, in an interview.
Wow.
And he
I love the
said,
point
and
we're
I
at.
quote, "You're definitely not seeing the daily reality, the bruising, the inflammation, the downtime, the fact that most of this probably just looks bad and feels worse." So basically, clavicular is like promoting this lifestyle to like young, impressionable men. And I think it's really harmful and dangerous. And I feel like that one clip of Jaden Smith where he was like, "Oh my God, can we talk about the economical state of the world right now?" That's what I feel like. Because it's like, how is this real? How is this real? Anyways, I digress. That's my take.
You sound
Yeah.
like someone who got mogged at some point.
Okay,
so-
well, wow.
Like I know what that means. Actually, I think I understand it. So, I don't know. I think it's just a weird thing to think about, but it's fun to talk about. Did you guys hear
Punch.
Punch the Monkey made friends?
Yes, I heard.
That's
Yeah.
all I have to say about that. Good for Punch the Monkey.
Yeah. No, I mean he like blew up the internet, right? Because he's very cute and he was holding a stuffed animal, but
Yeah.
nobody like he was getting bullied by the other zoo animals.
What about the other
But I
zoo
think that's
animals
just
that get
monkeys
bullied?
like doing what they do.
What
I
about
don't
the
know.
fish that get
Apparently
Probably
bullied?
it's
just
fine
defensive.
now.
What about the centipedes that get bullied? What
Nobody
about the
cares
frogs
about
that gets
ugly
bullied?
animals.
Yeah,
I know, I know.
Unfortunately.
Centipedes are the worst thing.
I know,
ever.
I don't like centipedes either.
Right.
Anyways,
Yes.
Yeah. So Punch the Monkey.
Shout out to Punch the Monkey on our way.
we're
out,
rooting for you, bud.
unfortunately. Yeah, we're still rooting for him. We hope that we know you're listening, Punch. Hang in there. Stay close to your friends. Don't let any territorial apes get you down.
Monkeys.
And you know what? I have the
Sorry.
same thing to say to our listener. Don't let any territorial
people.
Monkeys.
monkeys or
People.
people. You're probably more likely to deal with people than monkeys.
never
Don't let
know.
them get you down. This has been the Wake Up on the Wave, and that's it.
Catch us next Monday from 7 to 8:30 a.m. for more. Stay tuned.
And we're back. You're listening to the Wake Up on the Wave. I'm your host, Jackie.
I'm Evie.
I'm Jack.
I'm Michael.
And we have some pop culture news here for you.
Really only just one news story. All right. Here's the deal.
Here's the deal, okay?
Okay, so the CEO of McDonald's is currently going viral because he posted it was an Instagram video and a TikTok video of him having a little mukbang. It was a little taste test of a cheeseburger from McDonald's, and he looked absolutely disgusted by whatever was sitting in front of him. He did not want to eat that burger. They probably forced him to do that for publicity, obviously, but it's going viral because he took like the tiniest little nibble and he was like, really good.
Oh, no.
And it was obviously just so forced.
Really?
It reminded me of the Krusty Burger, one of the scenes from The Simpsons where he tries the burger and then they have a pail like on the side and he immediately
Oh, he
spits
spits
into
it
the
out.
pail.
Yeah.
Hell
He's
yeah.
like, come to the Krusty Burger. It's great. And then he just like, after the
Yeah.
filming, he spits it out.
I personally don't want to go to McDonald's for a little bit after watching that video.
The thing
thought it
is,
was-
like, I mean, obviously there's like a.
He also called it a product. I want to bring that
Oh,
up.
yeah.
He never
Yeah,
called
that
it
is true.
He never called it a burger or a meal. He called it a product.
Here's the thing, like, honestly. All right, I'm gonna get crazy, right? So, on one hand, yes, it's a McDonald's burger. Yes, there's probably a class element to it. He probably, as a CEO, he's probably not eating McDonald's burgers often, even though he's the CEO. That's a given, right? But I think he knows something about these burgers that we don't know, or that isn't like common knowledge, because I mean all that stuff is like, it's really bad for you, and it's probably not meat either.
Well, yes.
I don't know. Maybe.
He knows how much it's not meat, I think. Because,
Yeah.
like, I'm pretty sure they put artificial flavors in, like,
Probably.
burgers and stuff. Like, there's
Sort of,
artificial flavors that make your food taste like burger. And I think that's what's the deal. I'm pretty sure that's a thing. I can't fact check, and I'm not qualified to give any information
They
on
make your
anything.
food tastes like burger. So that's really funny.
Right?
No, I agree though. He knows something that we don't. And I don't eat at McDonald's. I eat at like everything else but McDonald's, to be honest, because I got food poisoning from it like when I was in elementary school, and I just can't even look at it.
Can you sue for that?
Well, I don't know that it was actually from the McDonald's, but that was like one of the last things that I had eaten, and then I was like vomiting for like 24 hours straight. So I can't say with my full chest that it was from that McDonald's meal.
My issue with McDonald's, on another note, it's not even that their food is like objectively like disgusting. Like most fast foods are kind of like that. But the reason I just get so annoyed because I feel like McDonald's prices are way higher than they need to be. Like I can get a Lux Cravings box at Taco Bell for like $8 right now. And I can also get like 6 nugs for like $8 at McDonald's. That's terrible. That's obscene. And I think that there needs to be consequences for doing things like that.
I want to bring it back to the CEO video. I had a friend who said that he thinks it might have been like reverse psychology marketing, and they're trying to get attention from the deliberate, like, I wouldn't say disgust, but he's sort of dissatisfied with the burger. What do you guys think about that?
I think that's a bad take, honestly.
Right.
I
Yeah,
didn't
I
really
agree.
agree with it. But
It's
I
like,
wanna
hey,
hear what
look, you guys should try our food. Look how disgusting it is.
It's not overtly him going like it's so gross. It's just like, which maybe is the reason why it's so like getting so much attention, because it's not like him saying it's so disgusting, which would obviously be like a publicity stunt. It's very fake. Like,
I don't know. That reaction seemed real to me.
No, the
because
reaction
he
was real,
trying
but,
to
like,
stifle it.
he's trying to like he's trying to like play it off.
I guess. But also it's like when you're dealing with food marketing, I wouldn't gamble that. Like having people
Yeah.
think, oh, does the CEO really not like the food? Because also in the video, he said that he claims that he eats McDonald's like multiple times a week. But I really do not think that is true at all.
And also, coming off as disingenuous generally isn't a good look for a CEO.
No.
Also, this just reminded me. Do you guys remember that one time where it was about 7 years ago? This is kind of similar, but also not. Papa John of Papa John's fame said that, quote, I've eaten 40 pizzas in the past 30 days, and then implied to someone else that the day of reckoning was coming.
I remember that.
Does anyone remember that? That was really
Yeah,
weird.
how could I forget?
And we still have no idea what he was talking about. And then I think later on he said he didn't eat that many pizzas, but he didn't draw back the reckoning is coming statement.
He just said that.
Yeah, why did he do that?
I don't know.
And
Publicity?
we just went on with our lives, and he looked like visibly uncomfortable saying it, like he was sweating bullets, and he's like, I've eaten 40 pizzas in the past 30 days. That's really difficult. That's a really difficult thing to do.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
On another note, do we have time? Do we have time for me to bring something up?
Yeah, like you have 2 minutes. Go.
Okay. Guys, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. Was Jim Carrey cloned?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Stop with the conspiracy theories.
Since you guys are saying no, I'm gonna say yes. Apparently he was on like one of the late night talk shows, and he looked normal then, and he had shorter hair too.
Maybe he was wearing a wig then to the red carpet thing. You never know.
He wanted to make his hair look long and greasy.
Yes, you don't know that.
I don't know.
It might have just been a stylistic choice.
Just because there's a simple explanation for something doesn't mean that it's the right answer.
I agree with that, but because I don't
What about
have to
Occam's
worry about
razor? the philosophy.
That's
thing where it's like-
exactly what I'm referencing.
You've been
you're just-
listening to the Wake Up on the Wave. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back next week from 7 to 8:30 a.m. Thank you.